Well, hello everyone, and thank you for listening to this webinar, which is called Exercise Your Skin with Bioelements at Home Exfoliators. Many of you have been asking me, particularly lately, what are the best exfoliation solutions to offer your client for home care? Why would you use one opposed to another? And I thought this was the perfect webinar that we could discuss those factors because it certainly is something that's very close to our heart. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the amazing Teresa Stenzel, who is the Head of Education Bioelements USA, for this amazing content that I have the privilege to be able to deliver to you. It's very nice for me because I don't actually have to write the content this time, which is lovely, and it exposes us to other opinions and information as well. Thank you to the ladies who responded and asked questions about for this webinar, and I should hopefully answer every single one of those questions throughout, but we will have a little bit of extra time at the end. One of the questions came from Shanara, and it was she wanted to know how to confidently communicate Bioelements benefits to clients who are skeptical about results for aging skin. So I'm hoping that this will really help you address that, in particular to at-home exfoliation and results that they'll see. The other question that we had, I'll answer in due course throughout the recording. I'm doing this recording just with me, myself, and I'm afraid this time because I had to change the schedule. So I'm hoping that that doesn't inconvenience anybody, but you can still take the time to listen to the recording at any time that suits you throughout. So today we're going to focus on, as I said, a subject that's very dear to most estheticians' hearts, and it's exfoliation. We're going to focus on how it exercises the skin. We know that exfoliation is the fastest and easiest way to turn back the hands of time in terms of skin aging, but we have lots and lots of choices, physical and chemical, which one to use, what's best for the client, how do we get our clients to exfoliate properly at home. There's lots and lots of different factors that come into play when we consider exfoliation. So let's just break it down, and hopefully this will help you to be able to explain to your clients as well the best what exfoliation does in terms of exercising the skin. Exfoliation really truly does exercise the skin, giving it a full workout from start to finish. It does quite a lot of different things, and let's look at how it works out the skin. First of all, it triggers a response in the skin, the self-reparative response, by disrupting the skin's barrier. So we're causing kind of a minor injury to the surface of the skin, nothing that will warrant too much healing process, but just the first process of skin healing, which it's very gentle, and as a result, it triggers the other actions that help to improve the health of the skin. It stimulates the lamellar bodies, which are lipid rich, to move into the stratum corneum. When we have lots of these in our stratum corneum, the skin appears softer, hydrated than it is, and more able to protect the surface of the skin. We increase the lymphatic flow by exfoliating. We know that our skin has a nice our secondary circulatory system with the lymph, and it's kind of our waste management system, but it's not particularly effective on its own. It might surge when you exfoliate. It kind of triggers the circulatory system. We get an increase in vasodilation, which increases the blood flow to the area, and as a result of this increased blood flow, you get an increase in lymph flow as well, which means that we get great reduction of toxins. With the vasodilation, we get more nutrients to this and oxygen to the surface of the skin. So we might get a nice pink. So we always remind our clients that when we exfoliate, exfoliate, it's perfectly normal for the skin to go slightly pink. Through all of these processes, we increase the rate of cellular turnover, and that's why we love it, because we get rid of the dead, ugly cells, and we stimulate the fresh new cells so we get a youthful, more vital appearance on the surface of the skin. And we also stimulate nerve response. So you might remember the first time that you ever exfoliated, it was quite tingly, skin felt very alive. And as we do it more and more, the skin tingles less, but we get a stronger, because we've stimulated and strengthened the nerve response. And this is nothing but a good thing. Okay, so as we do all these things happen in the skin, what's the benefit? So exfoliation improves the overall skin function. Remember, even though we're only touching the 10% of the skin, the outermost layer, we still are indirectly affecting the rest of the skin. So even though we're touching the stratum corneum, we're getting an increase of cellular turnover in the epidermis, in the basal layer. We trigger receptors to go off that stimulate action in the dermis and even in the subcutaneous layer. When we exfoliate, we can minimize the appearance of comedones and congestion, but in fact it also helps to improve and reduce the likelihood of more comedones forming, because we're ridding the excess skin buildup and preventing any infection happening. We've talked about strengthening the nerve function just before. We also, one of my favourite things from exfoliation is that the skin tone looks much more even and a lot brighter. We notice that especially after a regular program every week, we get a much more even skin tone. So just like through exercise, we build up resistance, we get stronger. In the same thing, when we regularly exfoliate, we get a benefit to the skin's tone and condition and colour. We've talked about improving the circulatory system and the lymphatic system, because by exfoliating, we're kind of stimulating the skin to work at its best. And one of the most important side effects of exfoliation is that we get an increased ability for the skin to absorb product. Without the dead skin buildup in the way, which can actually appear like an occlusive barrier on the skin, that stops the products from getting in. So when we exfoliate the skin, we get rid of that barrier, and then we get better absorption of the products that go on over the top. And you've noticed that yourself. You'll notice that when you put a serum on just directly on unexfoliated skin, it goes in, but it takes some time. When you do it directly after exfoliation, it absorbs in very, very quickly, and you probably noticed that. So let's take a look a little closer at the two types of exfoliation types. And we have physical and chemical exfoliation. So we're going to just take a little look at how the physical exfoliation works. So you can see these little green circles here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I'm pointing at them, so I'm hoping that you can see my mouse in the recording. So basically we put these on, and depending on the pressure we use and the type of beads, we are going to basically scrub off and cause these to abrade off. So depending on how evenly we do that and how much pressure we do depends on how many cells we can go off and how much effect it has. If the lower cells below don't quite get ready to come off, they will certainly loosen and be ready for the next time anyway. So you'll get a better exfoliation next time round. One of the questions was, how often should you exfoliate in 1 week? And I would say that for a sensitive skin, no more than once a week. But most healthy skins twice a week is ideal. If it's a really heavily congested skin that you want to give a bit of a boost, you could go up to 3 times, but absolutely no more than 3 times. If you exfoliate too much, all the goodness that happens is reversed. The skin will produce more oil to protect itself. You'll get a dehydrating effect on the skin, an oily, slick effect on the skin. You might even get some sensitivity or sensitization happening. So we don't want to over exfoliate. So ideally between 1 and 2 times a week is ideal to recommend to your clients. We're not talking the very light micro exfoliation that happens with Flash Foam Cleanser, which is a daily micro exfoliant. That is a very, very, very light exfoliation, so that can be done every day. Just wanted to clarify that we're talking a physical or a chemical at home exfoliation. Okay, back to this. So who would you choose to do a physical exfoliation on? I would choose it on someone who, one, isn't touch sensitive, somebody who has a bit more resistive skin, or somebody who just loves the feeling of that physical abrasion. You know yourself, if you like this type of exfoliation, it feels like your skin is very clean, very tingly and alive. And this is a sensation that clients really love. Some clients don't love this. So you just need to work out who likes it and who doesn't when you're recommending. Okay, so let's look at chemical exfoliation. Wait, I've gone too far. Oh, I've got the wrong slide in here. Oh, maybe okay, anyway, doesn't matter. All right, so basically chemical exfoliation is a little bit stronger than physical exfoliation. But I kind of want to clarify that, because if you're doing physical exfoliation, if you're scrubbing really hard and putting a lot of pressure and using an uneven type of grit or a too coarse a grit, then that's not true. But in a normal use, chemical exfoliation usually is a little bit more of a deeper exfoliation. We have 2 types of chemical exfoliation. We have enzymes and we have alpha and beta hydroxy acids. So enzymes and beta hydroxy acids tend to work in a similar sort of way. They are proteolytic, and this basically means that they eat proteins that are in their way. It doesn't matter which ones they are. It might be intercellular glue and it might be the cell itself. Usually the enzymes that we use in our skin formulas are keratolytic. They're ones that like to eat the protein keratin, which is the predominant protein in the skin. And these are the ones that I liken to Pac-Man. Yong, 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 yong. They eat everything in their way. And remember that with Bioelements enzymes, in the treatment room, we like to keep them with steam so that the Pac-Man can keep moving, just as an aside. When we're talking about acid molecules, it depends on their size, their strength. But basically what they do is they kind of work their way in and out of the cells themselves. They might break down the intercellular glue and the cell falls off, and some of them are strong enough to start to eat the actual cell itself. Just want to make another point in the treatment room, because we're predominantly talking retail here, but I just wanted to say that when we're using our acids in the treatment room, we have an amazing product called the Peel Prep Lipid Eraser, which helps to remove any excess lipids on the surface of the skin. So then when we use our treatment room grade alpha hydroxys, we get even a better penetration. But at home, cleansing prior is enough to do a safe chemical exfoliation at home. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's just go a little bit further in. So you can see that the action is almost like opposing magnets, and basically they repel the intercellular lipids apart and then stimulates the self-healing and self-regenerating process of the entire skin itself. It really does work with the skin to stimulate the skin's own processes, which all Bioelements products do, but that's what we really want to do in the skin. So the benefits of repelling repelling the intercellular lipids is to stimulate the skin's self-healing and self-regenerating process. And it's really good for skin to use chemical exfoliation on skins that are sensitive to scrubs, or thicker skin types, or skin types that show much more signs of aging that want a deeper exfoliation. Okay, moving on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each of the products individually that you would recommend at home. And one of our new favorites is Measured Micrograins Plus. So if you haven't tried this, I really recommend that you try it. It is far and away above such an improvement on the original formula of Measured Micrograins, which we loved, but was a very gentle exfoliant that doubles as a home care mask. It's no longer available in Australia. The only way they might get it at the moment is we do have a few in the starter kits, but other than that, we've pretty much 100% changed over to Measured Micrograins Plus. If you like the Measured Micrograins, we do have one or two of the pro size Measured Micrograins original formula if you really do love that. But I think that you'll agree that the Measured Micrograins Plus is a top reformulation. The reason why particularly is it does quite a lot of things that it didn't used to do in a better way. So it still is a two for one. It is an exfoliation and leave on at home mask, but it is suitable for all skin types. Except for inflamed acne, we really don't treat inflamed acne with any sort of physical exfoliation. We really might save that to chemical, or even just kind of treat it with the acne range. But in the past, we haven't been able to treat the skin, unpredictable or easily sensitized skin, with a physical exfoliation. And bit exciting because now we can with the new formulation of Measured Micrograins. The ingredients are so effective and so gentle. They actually warm the skin up and then cool it down. So it is actually kind of a workout for the skin when we use this one. We recommend it for people who don't really like to use chemical exfoliation, or people that have avoided physical exfoliation before. It's great for rough skin texture, enlarged pores, fine lines, skin that just needs a boost. So it really is, as I said, it's a complete workout from warm up to cool down. So we're going to exfoliate the skin. We're going to manage to control the excess oil, refining the pores and strengthening the skin with a blend of plant extract and essential oils, which we'll talk about in a moment, and it's so phenomenal. And then it comes with a cooling physiological sensation. So the actual mask does cool the skin and calms it down as a result. It's just a lovely treatment. So how it works, hello, Mr. Let's try again. No, the presentation is not working. Let me just go backwards. No. Oh dear. Okay, let me try this again. Sorry, technical issue. I'll just keep talking and we'll just see if it catches up, and if it doesn't, then I might have to go back to my screen, and might have to go to my PowerPoint on my screen. Okay, so basically when we talk about a normal pore, it's refined, it's unstretched, it doesn't have anything stuck in it, and it allows for good oxygen penetration to the skin. It also has a normal level of oil and production from the sebaceous gland. So in our formulation, we have a really nice ingredient called iris root extract, which is known to be an anti-inflammatory, astringent and decongestant to the skin, and that helps us to control excess oil. We also have a zinc sulfate, which is known, which is great for acne-prone skin. It's has an antiseptic quality. And then we have retinol palmitate, which is a tissue regenerator. It's great for oily skin types because it helps to inhibit the synthesis of excess lipids. So although Measure Micrograins Plus is great for all skin types, it's really good for combination oily skins, and it helps to control oil, refine the pores, is anti-inflammatory, and is great for sensitive skin. Okay, so this doesn't seem to be working. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly, I'm sorry for the technical, but I really want you to see the, oh, it's just not working. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording and I'll come back and do a second recording. Oh, damn it. What the hell?
It's 1:30.